we're back on the showroom floor at IBS 2018, and we're here to talk about the toilet that's in the tiny house. We've come out to talk with Brad Egan. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So you're from Niagara.
I am.
And Niagara has a pretty interesting story. I'd love to hear about that. And tell us a bit, what the angle is that you're going with toilets and maybe why you were selected for the tiny house.
All right, so Niagara is first and foremost a very big conservation company. We're very into saving water and our natural resources. And we have always had that mantra in our mind as we start developing a product. And in particular for the tiny home, one of the products we developed was the most efficient toilet in the world, flushing at the lowest rate possible. In addition, it was also a space saver, so you could actually get a little bit of extra comfort in a smaller area.
Well, that's quite a great, wonderful claim you have there, the most energy efficient,
water efficient
yes. Toilet in the world.
Yep, it flushes at 0.8 for a full flush and 0.5 gallons for a half flush. So you get about an average of 0.6 gallons once you do a little bit of math and how people use the product. But it's the lowest flushing toilet out in the market, and it works well.
Can you show us what you have in the toilet that really is that big differentiator between the traditional toilet and how you're getting such a low
Absolutely.
flush?
So we have a patented technology called Stealth that is integrated to every toilet that we have here today at KBIS and even in the tiny home as well. And it allows us to really replace some of the water with air. So we've been able to pressurize and find a way to pressurize that trapway so that once the toilet is flushed, it creates a vacuum and pulls the water and waste out with tremendous force, leaving the bowl completely cleaned and a reliable flush every single time.
Excellent. Can you show us some of the features on the toilets here?
Absolutely. We'll start with this guy. Okay. This is our one-piece toilet. It has a fully enclosed trapway, so it's a more modern, upscale type look, so it fits into a nicer bathroom or even just the average home.
I noticed it's lower than a traditional toilet. What's the reason behind that?
It is a little bit lower. The reasoning behind that was just simply to accommodate a different market.
Okay.
The hydraulics inside of our technology are very finicky, so as you start adjusting heights or even dimensions, we really have to work and make sure that the performance isn't being sacrificed. So again, this one is just a single piece, so you have one giant piece of ceramic coming in and going into the home, so it leaves very clean lines without any sort of, ugliness to it.
Right, and again, that makes it easier to clean, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's one of those nice little benefits.
Yes. And what do we have next?
This guy is our Phantom. We actually launched him last year at KBIS. The product that's in the tiny home actually has a nice little synergy with this guy that I'll get to in a minute. But again, this is another fully enclosed trapway. However, it's a two-piece model. It does have a higher seat, so you have that ADA compliance very easily with the seat height. A little bit easier on the knees as you're standing and sitting. It also has very sleek designs, a nice tank. And this one flushes at 0.8 gallons. It's a single flush toilet.
And I noticed all of your flush happens from the top of the tank.
On these particular models, they do. We do have a side handle as well to accommodate the full ADA compliant market. But on these guys, it's more of a modern European type look,
yes.
I guess you could say, that's been really well received over time.
Excellent.
And then finally, this guy, this is our Nano. This is what's inside the tiny home. So this toilet features our Stealth technology inside. It's integrated into the tank and the bowl as well. So as water is filling up, an air pressure is transferred down into the trapway and actually builds up a pocket of pressure. So as you go to flush, that water drops back out and it creates a vacuum or negative pressure and pulls water and waste out. But this air is trapped through the first P-trap and a secondary P-trap here as well, so there's no escaping. And it allows for a very powerful flush that basically we've replaced water with air. And again, this guy is just at 17 inches tall as well, so you do get that comfort aspect. And we've got a dual flush capability with it, with our Stealth technology. The nice thing about these two products here is that the design on the tank is very identical, so you can swap them. So you can create the most efficient luxury toilet on the planet, or you can have a space saver that is the most efficient toilet on the planet as well. So it's very cool that we're able to create products that can transfer from one to the other and allow the purchaser or the user different capabilities with what they would like to do in their home.
Very good. Now you have something else to show us, don't you? Tell us where we're headed next.
we're going to step over here and check out a new shower head of ours. It's one of our new technologies that I'm really excited about that we're launching here. We call it our Health Guard shower head. Now, with this particular product, you're getting a couple of benefits. So we have our pressure compensating technology inside that we have in every single one of our shower heads and aerators. It allows to restrict the flow of water. So if you're having a high pressure and you're getting more water pushing out on a typical shower head, what's listed at maybe 1.5 gallons really turns into 2 or even 3 gallons because there's nothing to really hold the water back.
Okay.
But with our technology that's integrated into this particular shower head and our other ones, it's a nice little cone, and as water pressure increases, this rubber cone expands out and strangulates like the flow of water. So it's rated at this particular shower head as 1 gallon. You're going to get 1 gallon no matter how much pressure is coming out.
So good water pressure without the additional consumption of water.
Absolutely. And it's also one of those things that ensures that it happens long term as well. And if lower pressures, just flows freely and you get exactly what you're supposed to.
And it looks, it's just as slim as any other water head. I would expect with that type of technology it to be something that would be bulky or a little heavier, but
no,
we
spend a lot of time trying to make sure that it's an aesthetically pleasing type of product, and you don't have to really change your consumer behavior. So one of the things that I know is in consideration whenever purchasing a shower head, and one of those factoids that people get really worried about is just pressure. So pressure is a great thing, and I have short hair. You'll probably benefit from this a little bit more with longer hair, but getting shampoo out, little things like that, this shower head is actually pressure even at the lower flow rates. The second aspect, which is probably my favorite part, this is really what makes the shower head unique. It is this Health Guard technology that we've integrated into the shower head. Now there's 2 reasons that this is great. Cleanability and just health in general. So you've got a shower head that's roughly about 6 feet up in the air.
Right.
How do you clean it? Either you got to unscrew it and take it down, or you got to take like a bag of CLR or some sort of cleaner and put it up there with a rubber band. So this is our Health Guard shower head. It features a 5-function spray. So you get the typical functions that you normally would, but cleanability of this is much simpler. All you have to do is hold it down and it comes right off. Easy access to the front, easy access to the inside with some citrus cleaner. You can clean this in no time and put it right back into place. Simply slide it over to lock, and then your shower head is ready to go. We didn't just set out to make a product and make profit on it. It was this big why question. Our company was founded on these kind of ideas where our founder literally looked at a shower head one day and said, this thing is wasteful. How can it be this bad? And after a couple of models and tinkering around in his garage, he created a water-efficient shower head, one of the best ones out in the market.
How long ago was that? When was Niagara established?
40 years ago. Okay. We've been around for about 40 years, and this is actually our 40th year right now.
Yeah.
So,
anniversary.
Oh, absolutely. But then we've just springboarded from that into all sorts of other products. But then we've really zeroed in on some of the biggest water wasters in the house, the toilet being one of those, the shower being another, and even the faucet. So anything that's in the bathroom, we've really addressed. And again, the reason behind that is because we only have 1% of the water on the planet usable for human consumption. So that's to shower and to grow and anything else that we need to do with, and it's constantly shrinking every day. Population increase and climate change. So we've got to be smarter with what we're using, and that's where all of these ideas come from. We don't just engineer a toilet to flush. We engineer it to flush and conserve water. And every time that we build a product, that's kind of at the foundation of what we're doing. And if we go into anything else, it's a pivot point to where we're going to create this toilet and it's going to look good and it's going to do these things. So every time it's not reinventing the wheel, it's staying very true to what we're all about.
And what is Niagara's long-term mission? What's the big picture for all of this?
We're constantly reinventing ourselves, constantly trying to push ourselves to find those new technologies. And while we're trying to generate awareness for the issues that we all face as a planet, how do we get people to not just understand and enter into the story, but participate it in a much more prevalent way. So part of what we're starting this year, and something we've been doing but never really put a structure around, is we're actually going to be taking a percentage of our profits and donating it to charities that bring safe water and sanitation to people in need. So not only are we conserving water, we're trying to bring water to people, because every day there are children and people in third world countries that just do not have access to safe and sanitized water. So it's one of those things that we're just very near and dear to our hearts, where we want to make sure that we're able to do something about it and invite our customers to help in that story.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Brad. I really appreciate you taking the time to tell us about the story and your mission, and I wish you the best of luck with your new endeavors here at Niagara. So look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.
From KBIZ 2018 with NGHTV.com, I'm Krista Inikovsky.